The morning that gleaming new chain appeared stretched tight across my private trail like a giant HOA middle finger to basic property rights, I knew Victoria Langford had finally picked the wrong fight. In the sun-baked foothills outside Tucson, where Saguaro Vista Estates promised peaceful desert living, the Homeowners Association had quietly turned into a full-blown control machine wearing pastel polo shirts and fake neighborly smiles. My name's Cole Harlan. That trail wasn't some public amenity. It was 20 acres of my own land, a winding path through mesquite and ocotillo I'd walked every morning since before most of these houses were even built. Surveyed, deeded, paid for in full. But Victoria, the board president with the voice of a car alarm and the personality of a rattlesnake, had decided aesthetics and safety trumped actual ownership. I marched straight to the community center, basically a fancy shed with a printer and too much air freshener. Victoria sat behind her desk like she ran the Pentagon. "Victoria," I said, keeping my tone level, "why is there a chain on my property?" She didn't even look up from her clipboard. "Board vote last week, Cole. Safety concern. Kids wandering, wildlife, visual harmony. You know the covenants give us authority over anything impacting the neighborhood." "Kids? Nearest school bus stop is 3 miles away, and the county plat map says that trail is 100% mine." Now she looked up, eyebrows arched like I'd insulted her designer handbag. "The updated guidelines clearly state the association may act in areas affecting community standards. If you'd bothered to read the amendments you signed when you bought in." "I bought in before you even moved here." "Remove it." She leaned back with that tight little smile. "Tamper with association property, and we'll see you in small claims. Have a nice day." That night my trail cams were rolling. One clean cut with the bolt cutters, and the chain hit the dirt with a beautiful metallic clatter. I slept like a baby. 3 days later, an orange violation notice was zip-tied to my gate. $1,950 fine for destruction of community improvements. Attached were crystal-clear photos of me cutting the chain and worse, shots taken from inside my property line showing my storage shed and the exact spot I stood. Victoria had personally trespassed 30 yards past my bright orange boundary stakes to play paparazzi. I called Deputy Ramirez, an old hiking buddy. He flipped through the printed trail cam stills of Victoria in her Navy HOA windbreaker, stepping over my markers. "Textbook criminal trespass, Cole. And using those pictures to fine you? That's fruit of the poisonous tree. File the report." "Damn right I will." My attorney Elena Vargas read the file and actually laughed out loud. "This is Christmas in July. They've been overreaching for years, but nobody's ever caught them red-handed on camera. We're suing for trespass, theft of services, malicious prosecution, and injunctive relief. Let's make them feel it." The process server handed Victoria the papers right in the middle of the annual block party. Word spread she turned the color of a stop sign. They didn't back down, they doubled down. That Saturday a thicker forged steel chain appeared, softball-sized padlock, laminated sign screaming restricted access, HOA authorized only. This time I didn't touch it. I called county code enforcement. 2 inspectors, a surveyor, and Deputy Ramirez showed up within the hour. The lead guy crouched by my boundary stake. "This entire installation sits on private deeded land without permits. 72-hour removal order or daily fines start at $500. The chain vanished by Tuesday night. But my trail cams disappeared too, ripped clean off the trees, cables dangling like broken veins. I didn't call the cops right away. My hidden backup cam, the one tucked in a hollow mesquite 30 feet up, caught 2 board members, Victoria's right-hand guy Derek and Secretary Cheryl, wearing gloves at 2 a.m. stuffing my cameras into a black duffel. Elena watched the footage once and immediately dialed the county prosecutor. "We're adding felony theft and destruction of property. This isn't a neighborhood spat anymore. This is organized retaliation." By the next weekend I'd had enough. I threw an open bonfire right where the trail opens into the clearing and invited the whole street. Neighbors showed up out of curiosity, then stayed when they started sharing their own war stories. Marcus got fined $300 for his American flag being too large. Sarah's kids' basketball hoop was cited for disrupting curb appeal, even though it sat in their own driveway. One by one the dam broke. We passed around a recall petition. 42 signatures by midnight, more than enough to force a special election. Court day arrived fast. The judge, a no-nonsense woman who'd seen every HOA trick in the book, listened while Elena laid out the timeline. Unauthorized chain, trespass photos used for a fine, retaliatory second chain, stolen cameras, county encroachment violation. Victoria's lawyer tried the good faith confusion over boundaries line. The judge cut him off cold. Ms. Langford, you personally trespassed to manufacture evidence against a man on land you now claim authority over? That isn't good faith, that's arrogance with a side of felony. Injunction granted. The association is permanently barred from any access or interference with Mr. Harlan's property. Outside the courthouse, Victoria stormed off without a word, heels clicking like gunfire. But the real avalanche started when Elena's subpoena for financial records hit. Suddenly, Detective Alvarez from the Public Integrity Unit was on my porch with 2 federal agents. Your case cracked the lid off something bigger. We found hidden payments labeled landscape emergencies to shell companies. Turns out those were for private security contractors installing illegal trail cams and listening devices on problem properties. Yours, Marcus's, Sarah's. All to pressure holdouts into selling to a developer who wants the ridge behind your lots for luxury townhomes. Your trail was the missing access piece. The raid on the HOA office was pure cinema, sheriff vans, federal warrants, computers seized in broad daylight. Victoria was arrested at her McMansion that same afternoon. Derek and Cheryl followed in handcuffs. Embezzlement, wire fraud, illegal surveillance, conspiracy, the whole menu. At trial, the developer's regional director flipped on the stand in under 20 minutes. Jury was out 90 minutes. Guilty across the board. Victoria got 4 years. The rest got prison or probation. The developer project died on the vine. We held the special election. Real neighbors stepped up, no power trippers, just folks who actually lived here. Marcus won a seat. First order of business. Every budget line and meeting minute now posted publicly forever. The trail. We turned it into the neighborhood's heartbeat. Benches, a little free library box, wildflower seed packets for kids. Someone nailed a simple wooden plaque at the entrance. They tried to chain freedom. We turned it into a path for everyone. Every time I walk it now I remember that first silver chain glinting in the Arizona sun. They thought rules made them kings. Instead they taught the whole street how to stand up. So tell me in the comments, true or false, the HOA was just doing their job protecting community standards, or did they get the exact karma they earned for turning neighbors into targets? Who really abused the power, the guy defending his own land, or the committee that thought bylaws made them untouchable? Drop your verdict below.